Honorable Chair, and I know you know how to do it quick. Then we shall capture the whole report on the Hansard for the record, but now do a summary.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members. I beg to present the report of the Committee on Information, Communication Technology and National Guidance on the petition by Ugandan National Musicians Federation on amendments to the Copyrights and Neighboring Rights Act 2006. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, on the 4th of October 2003, members of the Ugandan National Musicians Federation, through Honorable Fiona Nyamutoro, the National Female Youth Member of Parliament, and now the Minister of State in charge of minerals in the Ministry of Minerals, Energy and Mineral Development, wherein they called for expeditious amendment of the Copyrights and Neighboring Rights Act 2006, justifying that the 17-year-old law has become outdated in the light of advancement in technology and emergence of international best practices. Pursuant to Rule 36, the Rules of Procedure of Parliament, the petition was referred to the Committee on ICT, Communication Technology and National Guidance for consideration, which concluded the investigation and hereby report. Right Honorable Speaker, I move to general observations on the status of the bill for the amendment of the Copyrights and Neighboring Rights Act. Right Honorable Speaker, on 20th July 2022, Honorable Kiyaga Ilari sought for leave of the House to introduce a private member's bill entitled the Copyright and Neighboring Rights Amendment Bill. The bill introduces amendment to several provisions of the Act. It was, however, resolved by Honorable Hilary Kiyagi and government to work together to come up with a holistic amendment to the Act. And according to Honorable Attorney General, his submission to the committee, consultation on the bill is ongoing. Right Honorable Speaker, the committee recommends that urges government to consider and expeditiously domesticate the provisions of different treaties highlighted above that Uganda has ratified. So, the committee recommends for expeditious drafting and tabling of the amendments to the Copyrights and Neighboring Rights Act bill to Parliament by government, as the leave was sought in July 2022, and today is 3rd April 2024. Almost 2 years, the bill has not seen the light of the day. Right Honorable Speaker, another general observation is coordination and supervision of the arts and culture sector. The art and culture sector in Uganda is affected by supervision by various ministries and departments across government, including Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development, and the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance, which has affected realization of the mandate of the sector due to challenges of coordination and activities therein. The committee observes that the management of arts, sports, and culture under a single ministry will not only address the challenges of red tape and lack of centralized management, but also boost multiple opportunities for learning, entertainment, leisure, personal growth, and improving communication within, while also increasing the revenue base for the sector. We take cases from Kenya and Zambia who has put that sector under one ministry, and they are doing well. The committee therefore recommends that the youth, sports, culture, and arts sector should be housed under a single fully fledged cabinet ministry in order to make it undertake critical interest in matters affecting young people, which will lead to harnessing opportunities which can convert this largely informal sector into a commercially viable vehicle for job creation, entertainment, education, and widening the country's tax base. Committee also recommends that government evaluates the viability of a self-regulating, privately managed body to license the art industry sector and actors. This is intended to fully exploit and leverage the potential of promising arts industry, just like it has been done through the National Council of Sports. For sports sector, the same has also been witnessed from elsewhere in Nigeria, India, and Korea, which has optimally exploited their arts industry. Right Honorable Speaker, the petitioners had presented 10 issues for consideration in the amendment of the Copyrights and Neighboring Rights Act 2006. The committee submit on each of the issues as below. 1, the petitioners had sought for revision of charges for the coloring back tunes to ensure a fair split of revenue collected from the coloring back tunes in the percentage of 60% to be retained by the artists and 40% to be remitted to be shared by both the government and the telecom. The committee made the following observations on the coloring back tune. 1, failure by artists and content creators to seek and use competent legal advisors and experts during the contract drafting process, which exposed them to manipulation and exploitation. Unfair and inequitable revenue models. The current distribution model allocates very low revenue to the artists, which is unfair and exploitative. As they own content, there is a need to have equitable sharing of revenue provided for in the regulation by the statutory instrument to avoid the unfairness and inequitable distribution of revenue. Right Honorable Speaker, the rest there are all observations made by the committee, and I would wish to ask members to go through them so that I can attend to recommendation. But the observation number 8, the distribution formula provided as no legal provision expressly provided for the distribution of revenue from coloring back tunes, especially the remittance of 48% to government. Contrary to Article 152(1) of the Constitution, provides that no tax shall be imposed except under authority of an Act of Parliament. Right Honorable Speaker, in consideration of this matter, the committee studied and reviewed the practice in Kenya where an amendment via the Copyrights Amendment Act number 14 of 2002 was enacted. The Act expressly provides for the rate of distribution, including the premium rate of the service providers at 8.5%, the telecommunication operation at 39.5%, and the artists or owners of the copyrights
procedure. Yes.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. We have tried to look at our iPads. We can't find the report. We are not sure if it is uploaded on our reports, and also it is not being reflected. So we seek for clarity.
Clerk, can I confirm if the report is uploaded? Is it? The report is uploaded, Honorable colleague, because some colleagues are accessing it. I have just ordered for a copy for the Honorable Baram, because he doesn't have an iPad, and the Honorable Chua and the Honorable Sarah, and I know he knows this sector very well, so that's why. ICT, please ensure, because I don't know why some members are saying they have it, others are saying they don't have it. Yeah, let's go on, Honorable colleagues. If I find indeed that you failed to access it, then I can see a way of mitigating that as we go. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable colleagues. Since this is the report of the Committee on ICT, I would wish to call upon the IT Department of Parliament to come to the rescue of the House and ensure that all iPads are accessing the report. Right Honorable Speaker, the committee recommends that the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs should amend the Copyrights and Neighboring Rights Act 2006 to provide for coloring back tunes and then issue and gazette a statutory instrument under the Act to regulate the equitable sharing of revenue for coloring back tunes and related content consuming platforms. The Ministry of Information, Communication Technology and National Guidance should ensure that telecoms create a coloring back tunes monitoring system for purpose of transparency and accountability to the artist and the sector. That Uganda Communication Commission should audit the CRB platforms for copyright infringement content, order and take down and effect compensation for affected rights holders, as well as ensure that telecoms account for non-remittance or non-remunerated downloads. The Artists Association, including Uganda National Musicians Federation and Uganda National Musician Association, should ensure that artists receive sufficient legal support in drawing up and managing contracts. The association should have in-house legal teams. On issue B, imposition of a copy levy on device used in the reproduction of copyright protected work to be shared equally between government and holders of copyrights and neighboring rights registered under the Act. The committee observed that additional levy on technological devices would negatively impact on the drive to enhance technology and have it penetrate all corners of the country. Some of the aspects of the economy that would be grossly affected by a levy on devices, including financial inclusion through mobile money and agent banking, which has allowed for financial access to remote parts of Uganda. These financial services have no connection to reproduction of copyright protected works which are at risk to protect. This would be an unintended consequence where the levy allowed to be imposed on devices. The committee recommends for the amendment of the Copyrights and Neighboring Rights Act to provide for private copy levy at the rate that should be determined by software capable of transferring copyrights and storing copyright content. The obligation to pay this levy should be a contractual arrangement between the copyright owner and the software proprietor. That the distribution of the revenue to the different categories of rights holders should be provided for in regulation and may be implemented through respective collecting societies or collective management organizations following system agreed by the concerned parties, but not to be included in the Act. On issue C, imposition of strict measures against broadcasters who use private content because it undermines the intellectual property rights of the artists, hence causing a negative effect on their livelihood. The petitioners recommend...
That was pirated, not private.
Pirated, yes, that was pirated. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. The petitioners recommended a fine of not less than Uganda shillings 5 million to be paid by persons who is convicted for infringing the copyrights of an artist. Section 46 of the Copyrights and Neighboring Rights Act provided for what amounts to infringement of copyrights or neighboring rights. Right Honorable Speaker, the committee recommends that copyright and neighboring rights laws would be amended to cater for development, promotion, and protection of intellectual and copyrights of the value creators of the entertainment industry of Uganda. That government of Uganda embrace the digital era, the artificial intelligence relating to protection of the rights of creators in digital domain by creating a robust online applications infrastructure to identify online right infringements, promote, distribute, sell, collect revenue, distribute proceeds to rightful owners, compute and automatically collect the relevant taxes. On